It's week 7 of the 2025 college football season, and I got 20 more games that we're going to predict. Welcome in, Winning Cures Everything. It's a college football podcast. I am, of course, your host, Gary Seegers, at GaryWCE on all the different socials. And again, we're a day later than usual. It'll be the same thing next week. I'm going to St. Louis over the weekend. Don't ask me why. Just going to have a good time. But yes, we are here. We have got 20 more games. We got some things we got to discuss. Hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll because we're not going to waste a bunch of time. My record the last 2 weeks has been atrocious. I'm going to start believing in the numbers again. I've been going too much on this history and everything else. Not this time. Not this time. We're trusting numbers. We are deep enough into the season. We know what these teams are. We know what's happening here. So let's go ahead and do this thing, right? Let's jump in. We start on Wednesday night, ESPN 2, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone. Missouri State goes to Middle Tennessee State. And this one, Missouri State right now a 2.5-point road favorite, total of 49.5. Missouri State, this is their first road trip in 32 days. That's wild for a team that just came up from the FCS. The Bears are 3-1 straight up off of byes in the past 4 years. Middle Tennessee 0-3 against the spread off byes. They're 0-3 against the spread against debuting CUSA teams in the past 2 years. That's certainly not good. And if you look at Middle Tennessee, I mean, we're looking at the numbers right now. Number 124 in PPA margin, number 112 on offense per drive, number 103 defense per drive. They're number 112 in offensive success rate, number 98 in defensive success rate. Missouri State, at least they've got something cooking on offense, right? You start diving into this bunch, well, and I can't scroll down. Yeah, maybe I can give you a little bit. There we go. On offense, they can throw the football, at least a little bit. Number 41 in yards per pass attempt. Middle Tennessee is number 129. The issue is that Missouri State's quarterback, there is a chance he does not play in this game, from everything that I've heard. Now, maybe something happened today because they were a 1.5-point favorite, and now they are a 2.5-point favorite. So the line has moved a little bit. I am going to go opposite of that. I think these are two pretty even teams. Missouri State, significantly stronger strength of schedule. They're number 44 in that. Middle Tennessee is number 123. Neither team has been very good. It's kind of a mess. My power rating has Missouri State by 2.8. The stats projected spread only has Missouri State by 1.13. I've got a total of 38 on this game, even though the total on this it was 52.5 when I made the stat sheets. It's down to 49.5. So I would certainly look at an under, especially if it's still at 49.5. I'm going to take Middle Tennessee. Give me the Blue Raiders plus 2.5 on Wednesday night. Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. We move to the AAC, or just the AC at this point. East Carolina goes to Tulane, good old Yulman Stadium. Tulane, a 6.5-point home favorite, total of 53.5 on this. East Carolina, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 at Tulane. These two last met in 2022. Tulane, 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. Since 2019, Tulane is 36-15-1 against the spread as a favorite. They're really good in this role. They know exactly what they're doing. Now, my power rating only has Tulane by 4-ish. Stats projected spread has Tulane by 2.34. The current strength of schedule, Tulane, number 43, East Carolina, number 89. Yes, I understand that East Carolina's defense has been pretty good. Tulane, not great at throwing the football. They are better at running the football. Tulane's offense is not a big thing, right? Their defense is really good, though. And the thing that East Carolina is the best at, that happens to be what Tulane is the best at defending. East Carolina number 50 in PPA per pass. Tulane number 25 in PPA allowed per pass. Number 35 in yards per attempt for East Carolina's passing attack. Number 77 in yards allowed per attempt for Tulane. So There are certainly some weaknesses in this Tulane defense. Both teams outside the top 110 in penalties per game, both of them inside the top 25 as far as turnover margin. Tulane is overall a better football team, and they are certainly better at home, right? Both of these teams have had time to prepare for this one. I said I was going to trust the numbers. On this one, I'm going the opposite direction. Tulane at home in the middle of the week, especially under a touchdown. I feel good about that. Give me Tulane -6.5. Also on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, this one on ESPN2, the Southern Miss Golden Eagles are traveling to Georgia Southern. Southern Miss is a 3.5-point road favorite, total of 59.5 on this one. Southern Miss 1-4 against the spread off of their byes, 6-6 against the spread in road conference games. However, their new coach, Charles Huff, he was 16-9 against the spread on the road at Marshall. His teams always knew what it takes to win on the road. Georgia Southern 3-8 against the spread off their last 11 byes. This Georgia Southern team has not been very good this year. Number 132 in PPA margin. That's predicted points added margin. They are awful on defense. Number 135 in defensive success rate allowed. Number 127 against the pass. Number 136 dead last against the rush. And if you look, Southern Miss is not great at running the ball, but they can throw it a little bit. And I tell you, Braxton is a pretty good mobile quarterback. So I think he's going to be able to get after it running the football at least a little bit, especially with these kind of numbers, right? Number 135 in PPA per rush, number 136 in yards allowed per rush, number 136 in rushing success rate. Southern Miss will be able to run the football some here. My power rating has Southern Miss by 2.3. My stats projected spread has Southern Miss by 4.83, so almost 5 points. Georgia Southern opened as a 1.5-point favorite. It is all the way out to Southern -3.5. I wish we had gotten this the day it opened. That's what I'm wishing. I am also on Southern Miss. Now, I will tell you, Georgia Southern, number 33 in strength of schedule. Southern Miss, number 119. But you start looking at talent, etc. Southern is number 78 in on-3 overall talent rank. Georgia Southern, number 105. I don't trust Georgia Southern's quarterback, J.C. French. There's just a lot here that I'm not a fan of when it comes to Georgia Southern, whether it's points allowed per scoring opportunity or even on the other side, points per scoring opportunity. They're number 59, but they only get into the opponent's 40-yard line, number 106. That's 5.6 drives per game. I think Southern's defense is good enough to be able to slow them down some, and I also believe that Georgia Southern's defense, I don't know that they can really stop anybody. So if that's the case, I'm going to roll with the Golden Eagles. Give me Southern Miss -3.5. That's the best number. I'll take Southern Miss -3. We got a 3 available at Caesars right now. So Southern Miss -3 on Thursday. Friday night, we got some Big Ten action. Rutgers going all the way across the country to Seattle to take on the Washington Huskies, who themselves had to travel back from Maryland just last week, but they got a win at Maryland, so that's certainly a good thing. Washington is currently a 10.5-point favorite at home, total of 59.5. This one, 8 p.m. Central on FS1. Rutgers won this matchup last year, 21-18. Washington did not win a single game outside of their time zone last year. Rutgers, 8-0-1 against the spread off their last 9 byes. That is an outrageous number. Greg Schiano knows how to get his team prepared. Washington, 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 hosting Big Ten teams. That dates back into the Pac-12 days, obviously. They did not cover when Ohio State came to town just a few weeks ago. They did not cover when they went on the road to Maryland last week, but they did come back and got a big-time win. My power rating has Washington by 7. Stats projected spread has Washington by about 9.5. This thing did open Washington by 9.5. It is now out to 10.5. And looking at this, the Rutgers defense is certainly not good. I will say that. Their current strength of schedule is number 101, Washington number 55. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Washington has played Maryland and Ohio State at this point. But Rutgers, number 94 in PPA allowed per pass. Washington, number 44 in that. Rutgers, number 110 in yards allowed per attempt passing. And Washington is number 13 in that metric. So the defense for Rutgers could certainly be an issue here. However, it could also be a problem for Washington. Washington, number 88 in PPA allowed per pass on defense. Rutgers' offense is number 29. The Greek Rifle is doing his thing. Kaliak Manis is the quarterback there. Number 27 in QBR. Well, Washington's defense is number 44 in that. However, number 14 in passing success rate for Rutgers' offense. Number 108 for Washington's defense. So that's something to pay attention to. Washington significantly better against the run than they are the pass. However, Rutgers better as a passing offense than they are a rushing offense. So number 14 in success rate in passing the ball. Number 29 rushing the ball. The total here is 58.5, or it was 58.5. It is now at 59.5. And I had the projected total at 58.64. So I was pretty much right on the number. The implied score, at the sports books, when it first opened, it was 34 to 24.5. Well, I had it 34 to 24.5. I mean, I was just right on the number. That typically does not happen. But now that this thing has gone up, I will take that as an opportunity to buy back. I'm going to take Rutgers plus 10.5. I know they're going all the way across the world to get over there, but I think their offense can score enough here to keep up with Washington, who has played 2 really big games in a row. I know Maryland didn't seem like a big game, but that was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into making that comeback on the road. Now you're at home. You feel comfortable. Rutgers is coming off of a bye. Yeah, I'll take Rutgers plus 10.5. Are you tired of sore knees or joints slowing you down? Go Sleeves uses built-in kinesiology tape technology to give you support, reduce pain, and help you recover faster. Use code WCE for 15% off over at GoSleeves.com. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 15,000, and we are close. So close. Share the show out, and go and check us out over at buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. We got a new matchup comparison tool over there. We have got stat sheets. We've got all kinds of different things. So it's $5 a month, $50 for the year. Check it out. bettingcfb.com or buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. All right, we moved to Saturday, 11 a.m. Central Time. This one is on ESPN. Florida State off an absolutely heartbreaking loss. Maybe not heartbreaking. They just thought they were better prepared for a team like Miami. I don't know if anybody's prepared for a team like Miami, to be completely honest. But Florida State made a valiant comeback effort in the fourth quarter. Still got beat. Is what it is. So now they have lost 2 straight. And you got Pitt coming to town after they just absolutely mollywopped Boston College last week. Just destroyed. I mean, at one point, this thing was 45-0, I think. I mean, it was just brutal. Absolutely brutal. This is an interesting spot. Florida State opened as a 9.5-point favorite. They're out to a 10.5-point favorite, total of 57.5. That total has come down a little bit. New quarterback for Pitt. His name is Mason Heinchel. I think that's right. Just smoked last week. Absolutely smoked. He is a freshman, though, so something to pay attention to. Pitt 3-2 straight up their last 5 trips to Tallahassee. That spans back like 50 years. I mean, it's ridiculous. Pitt 1-9 against the spread as a road dog in the last 4 years. Florida State 9-1 straight up, 5-4-1 against the spread after the Miami game. You start looking at these numbers. Pitt is number 25 in PPA margin. Florida State is number 15. Florida State's offense certainly looks better than their defense. Number 7 in PPA per drive. That's predicted points added. Pitt is number 29 on defense. On the other side, Pitt on offense cannot run the ball to save their lives. They throw it, and my God, do they throw it a lot. Over 57% of the time. That's good for 19th in pass rate. They are flinging it around in Cade Bell's offense. Pitt is outside the top 120. I mean, they are in the bottom 12 in the country in turnover margin. That's certainly not good. Florida State, however, is number 69 in turnover margin. Nice, obviously. But number 96 in giveaways per game. So you're hoping that Thomas Castellanos does not, he doesn't give the ball away. That's what you're hoping. But Pitt, that Narduzzi defense, Pat Narduzzi against Gus Malzahn is a fun, just really, really fun coaching matchup. But you've also got Tony White going up against Cade Bell. Yeah, I'm all in on this. Pitt is outside the top 100 in penalties per game as well. Florida State is inside the top 20. That's certainly an advantage for Florida State. And this Florida State offense, what I'm curious about is whether or not the linebackers for Pitt, who are fantastic, by the way, these Pitt linebackers, they're number 8 in the country. Will they be disciplined enough to be able to play the gaps against the Gus Malzahn offense? We shall see. I think Florida State is explosive enough. I think they are pissed off enough. I think Florida State, I'm going to stick to my number here because I've got Florida State by 13.21. My power rating has them by 10. They're at home off 2 straight losses. This is do or die time. And Pitt is on the road. They don't play well on the road. Yeah, I'm going to go Florida State. Give me Florida State minus 10.5 on Saturday morning. 11:45 a.m. Saturday morning on the SEC Network. We've got Washington State coming from the Palouse all the way to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the top 5 ranked Ole Miss Rebels, who are coming off of a bye. Now, both of these teams are coming off byes. It is the first SEC game for Wazoo since 2013. It's a long time. Washington State, 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 against ranked opponents. They are 1-6 straight up all-time against the SEC, but they are 5-2 against the spread, probably because numbers are always huge like this. When I got the line, Ole Miss was a 33.5-point favorite with a total of 57.5. That total is now 58.5, and Ole Miss is only a 32.5-point favorite. There are books that have 33.5. There are books that have a 32. Do with that what you will. Ole Miss plays Georgia next week on the road. Absolutely massive game for Ole Miss. And Ole Miss, by the way, as a 30-plus point favorite, 6-1 against the spread in their last 7. However, most of those have been at the very beginning of the year or towards the end of the year. Very rarely do they have one of these that's just right smack in the middle of early October, especially when you've got massive conference games coming up. The SEC schedule is certainly different than it has been. Washington State, I think, can stay in this thing. I think they can. My numbers certainly would suggest so. My power rating has Ole Miss by 26. My projected stat spread has Ole Miss by 29. So we're looking at a score of somewhere around 40-10, 40-11, somewhere around there. Ole Miss, to be a top 5 team, they're number 19 in 5 factors ranked. Now, Washington State's number 120. I mean, it's their offense is pretty bad. Actually, everything they do is pretty bad. Washington State's not very good. I do like their coach, though. I like Jimmy Rogers. This is just not a very good football team. At the same time, I don't look for Lane to really run this thing up. This is a weird spot. Like this, I believe Ole Miss was supposed to play Wake Forest at home this year, and Wake Forest bought out of it. I mean, it's a mess. So, alas, it is what. Or no, maybe that was last year. Regardless, it's Washington State, and you're playing them in October at home, the week before you play at Georgia. I don't expect Ole Miss to really show a whole lot. My numbers say it should only be about a 30-point spread, somewhere around there. This thing is at 32.5. Best number I can get is 33.5. I'll take Washington State. There's no reason to look at these numbers. Ole Miss, number 14 in PPA per drive on offense, number 67 in PPA per drive allowed on defense. They're number 61 in defensive success rate, number 106 against the run. I found that interesting. They are not good at stopping the run, and yet it's a top 5 football team right now. A lot of people like the Lane documentary, I suppose. I mean, they jumped a ton after that win over LSU. Regardless, I think Washington State can keep it. I mean, make this a 41-10 ball game, 48-17, something like that, and you're within the number. I feel pretty good about that. So I will take Washington State plus 33.5. We just talked about Washington State. Well, why don't we talk about Oregon State? That's right. The Beavers are hosting Wake Forest. Interesting matchup for October, of course. Wake Forest favored by 2.5 on the road, total of 55.5. This one's at 2:30 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone on the CW. Oh, boy. From this point on, I don't have notes on the rest of these games. I ran out of time. That's what happens when you pack too much into a week. Wake Forest, their current strength of schedule is number 120. Oregon State's current strength of schedule is number 6. That's the way it goes. Now, my numbers are opponent adjusted. I've got Wake Forest power rated 1.6 points better. My stats projected spread has Wake favored by 4.73. And this number's just hanging around 2.5. Not really going anywhere. Just hanging out. The Oregon State numbers are just not good at all. Like this is unbelievable. They are 0-6 straight up. They are 1-4-1 against the spread. There's not a good number that you can come up with. Like maybe they're pretty good against the run. The defense for Wake Forest is good. I don't expect Malik Murphy to have a ton of success here. The total, like I said on this, it was 54.5. It went up to 55.5. My stats projected total is 46.43. Kind of different, right? Kind of different. But when I look at this, at some point, Oregon State is going to get a win. They have been in super tight games with some of these. And it's not like Jake Dickert doesn't know anything about playing Oregon State. Obviously, he had a lot of success in the Pac-12 when he was at Washington State. It's so hard to break this down because Oregon State has played really good football teams. Wake Forest has not. And Wake Forest has still given up some points, even though their defensive success rate is really good. They're number 13 in the country in that. Oregon State, for as bad as their PPA margin is, they're not terrible as far as success rate goes. Number 63 in offensive success rate, number 65 in defensive success rate. Wake Forest is number 125 in offensive success rate. And Wake Forest is number 13 in defensive success rate. So Wake Forest defense is the best unit on the field. But that Wake Forest offense is pretty atrocious, and I think that Oregon State is going to have a little bit of success there. I think it will be lower scoring. I think Oregon State has been looking for a win. I will go with Oregon State. Believe in the Beavers. That's what I say. Give me Oregon State. I will go against the numbers here. I will take Oregon State. Best number I can get is a 3 over at Caesars right now. So Beavers plus 3. A little Big Ten action. Nebraska going to Maryland. And you want to talk about a heartbreaking loss. I mean, absolutely heartbreaking. Maryland losing in the fourth quarter. Really gave up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to Washington last week. But right now, Nebraska a 6.5-point road favorite. That's the consensus. There is a 7 out there right now. Total of 47.5. 2:30 p.m. Central Time on the Big Ten Network is what we're looking at for this one. Nebraska, I've got them favored by 2.5 here. I've got them power rated by 2.5. The stats have them projected as 2.5-point favorites. Maryland, number 121 in strength of schedule right now. So that's certainly not good. Nebraska, number 56. You look at PPA margin, I mean, these are opponent adjusted. Nebraska, number 27, and Maryland, number 24. That Maryland defense certainly looks okay, right? Number 11 in defensive success allowed. Nebraska, number 23 in offensive success. Now, Maryland, number 85 in offensive success rate. They're not good throwing the football, but they are pretty good at running it. So, they're not very good at running the football. They are pretty good at throwing it. That's where this gets kind of tricky because if there's a weakness with the Nebraska defense, it's that defensive line, and you can run on them. They're number 121 in PPA per rush, but Maryland is number 119 in PPA per rush on offense. So you look at the other side of the ball, Nebraska wants to throw it. They're throwing the ball almost 58% of the time. That is 17th most in the country. Maryland is number 10 in PPA allowed per pass on defense. They're number 21 in yards allowed per pass attempt on offense. They're number 23 in QBR allowed. Nebraska, they're gonna try and throw the ball, and from there, I think Maryland's going to have some success slowing them down. I think this is going to be a pretty tight ball game, to be completely honest. I wish that Maryland was better at running the football so that they would have a better advantage here. Special teams, Maryland number 29, Nebraska number 54. Overall talent rank, Nebraska number 23, Maryland number 34. 5 factors rank, Maryland number 13, Nebraska number 15. I think I would certainly say this. First half point margin, Maryland is number 3 in the country. Nebraska is number 12. If you were going to bet anything, I'd probably go Maryland first half. But for purposes of this show, we like to pick a side on these. So I've got the score somewhere around 27 to 24 and a half, somewhere around there, 2.5 points. If this thing is out at 6.5 or 7, I'm going with the Terps. I know emotional letdown. I understand that. Nebraska, big win at home over Michigan State. Put up 38 points there. I think that Maryland is going to be able to hang around here. So I will, and that total is going down, even though my stats projected total is 51.84. Nebraska going on the road. Maryland gets to play at home again after just a brutal beat last week. I'll take Maryland. You can get it at DK right now, +7. I will take the Terps, +7. Are you looking to catch your favorite team or concert live? Ticket Smarter makes buying tickets safe and simple. And with our promo codes, you save big. Use WCE10 for $10 off an order of $100 or more, or WCE20 for $20 off $300 or more. Grab your tickets now at Ticket Smarter. We're going to stay in the Big Ten, and this one also 2:30 p.m. Central Time on FS1. Northwestern goes to Penn State, and when you go on the road and you lose as a 24, 25, whatever point favorite, and you were a national title favorite to start the season, and now you got 2 losses as we just entered October, what's a good medicine for that? It's probably getting Northwestern at home, right? Let's be completely honest. And this is not a dig at Northwestern. I mean, we're just calling a spade at this point, right? Penn State, a 21.5-point home favorite. There are 22.5s out there. 47.5 is our total right now. And Northwestern, number 32 in current strength of schedule, they were able to hang at home with Oregon. Penn State also was able to hang at home with Oregon, a little bit tighter than Northwestern was. However, Northwestern beat UCLA 2 weeks ago, and last week Penn State went on the road and lost to UCLA. Now, obviously, circumstances different. Northwestern faced a different offensive coordinator than Penn State did last week. Cheers, Jerry Neuheisel. My number on this has Penn State by 18.84 as far as the stats projected spread. My power rating only has Penn State favored by 15. Penn State does not have a win over a Power 4 team yet. Now, they've only played 2. But still, you want to talk about Cupcake City to start things off. Then they get Oregon at home, and they can't get the job done in double overtime. Then last week they go out and just don't show up for the first half at all against UCLA. Fought back in the second half, still end up losing 42-37. And yet I still have them as a pretty big favorite here. Penn State, number 31 in offensive success rate, number 34 in defensive success rate. Northwestern, number 47 in offensive success rate, number 80 in defensive success rate allowed. Northwestern is going to have problems stopping the running game for Penn State, I would believe. Penn State is number 27 in PPA per rush. Northwestern is number 129 on defense. On the other side of the ball, maybe Northwestern will have some success running the ball. Northwestern, number 24 in yards per rush. Penn State's defense, number 59 in yards allowed per rush. But then you've also got offensive line yards. Northwestern's number 70 in that. Penn State's defense, number 41. Stuff rate, Northwestern number 23. That's pretty good. Stuff rate for Penn State's defense is number 41. Points per scoring opportunity, even when Northwestern gets down inside the opponent 40-yard line, they still have trouble scoring. They're number 133 in points per scoring opportunity. Penn State is number 35 in that metric on defense. I don't imagine that Northwestern will get into the red zone very often, but maybe I'm wrong. We shall see. Northwestern number 131 in turnover margin. That is bottom 6 in the country, bottom 5 in the country. Northwestern is number 94 in points per play margin. Penn State is number 8 and number 7 in those metrics. Penalties per game, both of these teams are inside the top 10, so that is certainly a good thing. Both teams pretty disciplined. I don't expect Penn State to just be able to whomp whoever they want, right? I don't expect them to be able to wake up and just win by more than 3 touchdowns here, although that is typically a James Franklin thing. I'm going to go with what we have seen thus far, and I'm going to trust the numbers on this. I don't expect a ton of points, and I think that Northwestern can hang around. So I will take the Wildcats plus 22.5 on the road here. Not to make Penn State sweat, really, but just enough to keep them uncomfortable and keep everybody guessing what's coming next for the Nittany Lions. Once again, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that good stuff. You guys know what's up. Would it really be a 20 more games video if we didn't talk about the Sun Belt at least one time? You guys know that I've got kind of a man crush on Old Dominion right now. Old Dominion is going on the road. They're facing Marshall. They're favored by 14.5 points. The total is 56.5. It opened at 54.5. Now the over is getting bet up. My power rating only has Old Dominion favored by 10.5. The stats projected spread has Old Dominion by 13.17. I'll go ahead and tell you, I don't think that's enough points. I don't think 54.5. I don't think 14.5 is enough points. My stats projected total is 51.5. I don't know why that would be. This Old Dominion offense is cooking. Absolutely cooking. Kevin Decker is their offensive coordinator. He is fantastic. Like, what they are doing on really running and passing is awesome. Number 6 in PPA per pass, number 26 in PPA per rush, but they are number 1 in the country in yards per rush. Marshall is number 68 in yards allowed per rush. Their defense is number 118 in yards allowed per pass attempt. Old Dominion is number 13 in yards per pass attempt. They are number 4 in passing success rate, number 7 in rushing success rate. They are number 10 overall in offensive success rate. Marshall is 64th in defensive success rate. This is awesome. And to be completely honest, Old Dominion number 25 in current strength of schedule. This is a good football team. Like, I'm big into them. Number 16 in the country in 5 factors rank. Marshall is number 76. I know it's over 2 touchdowns. I know that there's been a couple of games where Old Dominion has not won, the Liberty game, for example. Liberty was able to keep it within 2 touchdowns. But I don't think Marshall can. This Marshall team is still kind of a mess, still trying to figure some things out. I think Old Dominion can absolutely wallop these guys, and I am expecting it. I'm going against my number here, but it's mainly because I am just a massive fan of what they're doing on offense at Old Dominion. I will take the Monarchs, minus 14.5 in this one. To the ACC, where Georgia Tech is hosting Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech coming off of a bye here. And Georgia Tech is currently a 14.5-point favorite, total of 55.5 in this one. It's 2:30 p.m. Central Time on the ACC Network. Oh, yes. Georgia Tech by 14.5. The home team in this series is just 2-8 against the spread in the last 10. And there have been 8 outright upsets in the last 10 in this series. Georgia Tech plays at Duke next week. Stats projected spread has Georgia Tech by 15. Power rating has Georgia Tech by 11. Virginia Tech, of course, got beat last week. they have not been very good. Georgia Tech's current strength of schedule, number 103. That Clemson team that they beat, that everybody was so impressed with, Georgia Tech, that's not a very good Clemson team. I know that they just beat up on North Carolina, but that is not a very good Clemson team. Georgia Tech is number 52 in PPA margin. Now, Virginia Tech is significantly worse, number 121. They have played better since they changed over to Philip Montgomery as the head coach, the interim coach. Let's be real. You're not looking at a huge talent disparity here. Number 42 for Georgia Tech, number 46 for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is still kind of a mess. Number 106 in 5 factors. Georgia Tech is number 17 in those. There's no good reason for me to give you Virginia Tech here. And this is certainly not one that I would bet because you don't know what version of either one of these teams is going to show up. But I kind of believe that Virginia Tech can at least hang around here. Georgia Tech, I know I've said it a dozen times, and it feels like every now and then it comes back to bite me. Georgia Tech, as a home double-digit favorite, not nearly as good as when they are a dog. How do you go from being the consummate underdog to now having to play the role of favorite because they are now one of the favorites to get to the ACC championship game? How does that affect the mentality of this football team? I'm not totally certain. I know Buster Faulkner is going to have some plays drawn up. I know Haynes King is going to run. I know this. But I just think Virginia Tech can do enough to hang around here. I mean, this is still a Georgia Tech team that almost got upset, probably should have been upset by Wake Forest a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I think Virginia Tech can hang. Give me the Hokies on the road, plus 14.5. The Florida Gators off a massive win over the Texas Longhorns. They are headed to College Station. They're going to Kyle Field. They're going to take on the Texas A&M Aggies. And Texas A&M is a 7.5-point home favorite, total of 46.5. This one at 6 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone, of course, on ESPN. And the Gators, boy, that offense looks a whole lot better with Dallas Wilson back, right? Looks a whole lot better. Maybe now you've got a healthy DJ Lagway. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows at this point? My power rating has A&M by 14. I mean, that is so far off the market. It's not even crazy. My projected stat spread has A&M by 15.5. This thing opened at 8.5, and then all of a sudden everybody decided, we saw Auburn hang around with A&M, and that was only a 16-10 ball game. If you go back and look at the stats on that game should have never been a 6-point ball game. A&M, the levee broke open last week against Mississippi State. 31-9. They dominated the second half. But against Auburn, they dominated the football game. Lagway is going to have to deal with some stuff he hasn't seen. I know the Texas defense is good. I know this. However, now they're playing at night on the road a week after a huge ball game where you get a big win at home. You feel like you're back. You're feeling good about yourself. Maybe confidence can get you there. But A&M, it's not like there's been a big difference in the strength of schedule between these two teams. Florida is number 3. A&M is number 12. A&M has played teams too. They know what they're doing. They've been in big night games. They know exactly what's happening. That 7.5 is just sitting there, and these books are continuing to take Florida money, and I understand where they're coming from. But that Lagway that threw 5 interceptions at LSU, that guy's still in there somewhere. I know he looked good against Texas. That was at home. Just telling you. A&M number 12 in defensive success rate. The Florida Gators are number 74 in offensive success rate, number 93 in passing success, number 26 rushing. A&M is top 20 in both passing and rushing defense. It's pretty good. Passing success rate for A&M is number 116, but they are number 31 in passing explosiveness. You start looking at havoc. A&M is number 3 in havoc allowed. Florida is only number 54 in havoc created. So A&M is going to be able to score some points. They are number 53 in rushing success rate. I think that's going to continue to get better. But their rushing numbers on offense have not been good. Number 73 in offensive line yards, number 66 in stuff rate allowed. Not great. But on standard downs, which is when most of the runs happen and whatnot, they're number 21 in standard downs PPA, number 17 in standard down success. This is a team in Texas A&M that does not turn the ball over, but also does not generate a ton of turnovers. If there was ever a team that you could generate some turnovers off of, it would probably be Florida. Number 96 in giveaways per game. But also Florida does not turn the other team over very much either. Number 84 in takeaways per game. One thing to look out for, A&M is number 135 in penalties per game. So there are some things to be wary of. Florida is number 47 in that metric. As far as 5 factors rank, or 5 factors plus talent, A&M is number 8. So all the intangibles, all the things that it takes to really win a football game, A&M is good at those. Florida is number 66. So I'm going to trust my numbers here. Texas A&M minus 15.5. I feel good about that, especially considering the line is 7.5. Give me A&M at home. I think they rock Florida this weekend. Why struggle doing everything yourself? On Fiverr, you can hire professionals for just about anything. Marketing, editing, design, and more. Save time, get it done right. Click the link in the description to get started. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, check out bettingcfb.com, or there's a link in the description, buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. $5 a month, $50 for the year. You get these stat sheets, you get the matchup projector, the matchup comparison tool, all that kind of stuff. It's only $5, and it supports me doing this show. I would appreciate it. But again, like the video, jump in the comments. I want to know your picks on these games. All right, NC State is going to Notre Dame on Saturday. This one's 2:30 p.m. Central on Peacock. You got to have your streamer available for this one. NC State is a 22.5-point dog on the road, a total of 60.5. The total has come down a little bit. It was at 62.5. It's come down to 60.5. Our stats projected total here is 64. So I'm kind of surprised that it's going the opposite direction. My number here, I've got Notre Dame power rated 16 points better. My stats projected spread has Notre Dame by 18.36 points better. NC State ain't great. Like, I know that. Looking at the 5 factors rank, number 65 in 5 factors. Notre Dame number 39. You know, that defense for Notre Dame is certainly a problem. Although they did look better against Boise State last week. 4 interceptions. I like C.J. Bailey. I like what he's doing. This NC State defense is surprising. I haven't seen numbers quite like this. They are number 10 in rushing success rate, but they are number 100 in PPA allowed per rush. They are dead last in the country in rushing explosiveness allowed, number 136. They are number 68 in PPA allowed per pass. That's predicted points added. But they are number 36 in passing success rate allowed. Is this a good defense or is it not? They're number 92 in predicted points added allowed per drive. But they are number 18 overall in defensive success allowed. It's kind of surprising. They allow big plays. Notre Dame can certainly create some big plays. On the other side of the ball, Notre Dame is number 93 in defensive success rate, and they're number 88 in defensive PPA allowed per drive. NC State is number 28 in offensive PPA per drive and number 38 in offensive success rate. They can throw the football. That is certainly a weakness of this Notre Dame defense. They are number 86 in passing success rate allowed. They are number 111 in havoc, number 86 in passing explosiveness allowed, number 83 in yards allowed per pass attempt, etc. NC State is going to be able to throw the rock a little bit. And I feel like 22.5 is just too many points. It's gone up. It was 21.5. It's up to 22.5. Make any of it make sense to me. I know that everybody thinks that Notre Dame is just going to be able to put up massive, massive points on everybody. But this NC State team they at least fight. I'll give them that. They at least fight. So I'm expecting this thing to be relatively close. And if that is the case, afternoon game in South Bend, it's everybody's Super Bowl. I think NC State can hang around, especially keep it within 22.5. So I will take the Wolfpack on the road here, plus 22.5. Over to the Big 12, Iowa State traveling over to Boulder. What an interesting spot. 2:30 p.m. Central Time on ESPN, and the Colorado Buffaloes are 3-point home dogs to the Iowa State Cyclones. Total of 52.5 on this one. And I'll just go on and tell you, my power rating has Iowa State by 4.7, and my stats projected spread has Iowa State by almost 6, 5.9 points. I've got 24.5 to about 18.5, somewhere around there. So, of course, I've got a total of 43 points. Our total was 52.5, and that thing has stuck right there, 52.5. Iowa State, both of their starting corners out for the year. You certainly saw that rear its ugly head against Cincinnati last week. Cincy was able to do all kinds of things. But Cincy had a quarterback that can throw the football. Colorado, number 73 in PPA per pass. They're number 30 in passing success rate, but they're number 66 in yards per pass attempt. Iowa State, still pretty good as far as havoc, right? Colorado, number 112 in havoc rate allowed. That ain't good by any stretch of the imagination. And then passing downs rate, they're one of the bottom 8 in the country. Outside of the top 125, they 36% passing downs rate. So they don't get put in that position very often. But they are relatively successful with it. Passing down success, number 30. There's so many weird numbers with this. Iowa State is not very good at defending the run. And Colorado doesn't run the ball a ton. They are number 86 in rush rate in the country, 48.44% rush rate. Number 67 in yards per rush, but they are number 107 in rushing success rate. Well, Iowa State is number 101 in rushing success allowed, but they're number 54 in PPA allowed per rush. It's weird numbers with this Iowa State defense. They're number 41 in PPA allowed per drive on defense. It's kind of the bend but don't break thing. They're number 99 in scoring opportunities allowed per game. 5.8 drives against them per game get a first down inside their 40-yard line. But they're number 46 in points per scoring opportunity, only giving up 3.41. So that's something to pay attention to. This Colorado defense has not been good. I thought they might be okay. I was wrong. It is what it is. Number 120 in PPA allowed per pass. They're number 44 in PPA allowed per rush, but they are number 98 in yards allowed per rush. They're number 105 in yards allowed per pass attempt. Iowa State is going to be able to sling the ball against them. Look for Rocco Beck to have a pretty good game. I can give you all of these numbers all day long, but if you look at the 5 factors rank, Iowa State number 20, Colorado number 88. The intangibles, the things that really matter to winning a football game, Iowa State does those in spades. Matt Campbell, certainly I believe a better coach than Deion Sanders. One thing I am curious about, the health stuff has come back up with Deion again. Is this one of those where they're at home and, this is win-1 for coach and et cetera? Like, who's to say? Iowa State was a 5.5-point favorite. This thing's all the way down to 3. I still got to trust my gut and trust my numbers. I know they've got 2 corners out. I don't think it's necessarily going to matter against this offense. I'll take Iowa State. Iowa State minus 3 on the road in Boulder. To the SEC, 3:15 p.m. Central Time on the SEC Network, the Arkansas Razorbacks go to the Tennessee Volunteers, and Tennessee currently a 12.5-point home favorite, total of 68.5. The total has come down, 69.5 down to 68.5. The ticket number has come down. Tennessee was a 13.5-point favorite. They are now a 12.5-point favorite. Find that interesting. My power rating only has Tennessee favored by 10 points. My stats projected spread has Tennessee by 15.4. You look at PPA margin, Tennessee is number 12 in the country. Arkansas is number 59. You look at success rate, Tennessee is number 12 in offensive success rate, number 78 in defensive. Arkansas is number 6 in offensive success rate, and number 131 in defensive success rate. Now, I understand the defense was so bad, they fired Travis Williams, the defensive coordinator, or Bobby Petrino did when he took over as interim coach. And, yeah, it's rough. It's rough in these Arkansas streets. Chris Wilson is the interim defensive coordinator. He was last seen as the defensive coordinator of the Houston Roughnecks in the UFL. And now he will be calling plays and running the defense for the Arkansas Razorbacks. My total on this is 73.71. Stats projected spread, like I said, Tennessee favored by 15.40. That gives us a projected score of about 44.5 to 29. This Arkansas defense is so bad. And it's not a yo mama joke where I'm going to make a bunch of jokes. I'm just telling you legitimately, they are number 112 in yards allowed per pass attempt, number 97 in yards allowed per rush attempt. They're number 134 in rushing success rate allowed, and number 101 in passing success allowed. Tennessee is number 24 in passing explosiveness. Number 101 is what Arkansas's defense is there. Rushing explosiveness, Tennessee number 96, but they are number 9, again, in rushing success rate. They will be able to pick up, they're number 36 in yards per rush, averaging over 5 yards a carry. Arkansas's defense, number 97 in yards allowed per rush. We know what Josh Heupel likes to do. You run it as many times as you can, draw those safeties up, get everybody closer to the line of scrimmage, and then Joey Aguilar has no problem throwing that thing deep, right? He may not be the best at it, but he's pretty good, and I think he'll be great against this Arkansas defense. So I look for Tennessee to put up a ton of points here. Josh Heupel is not somebody who will let up, especially when the spread is less than 2 touchdowns. That's crazy. Now, this Arkansas offense, I imagine Petrino is going to be trying to do some stuff here. I would imagine. Tennessee's defensive line, number 66 in offensive line yards allowed. Arkansas, number 8 in offensive line yards. They are number 7 in yards per rush. Tennessee is number 18 in yards allowed per rush. But rushing success rate allowed, Tennessee number 114. Arkansas is number 2 on offense. Passing the football, interesting. Arkansas number 16 in yards per pass attempt. Tennessee is number 65. You look at some of these numbers. Passing success rate, Arkansas number 5, Tennessee's defense 37. Passing explosiveness, Arkansas number 25, Tennessee number 37. Arkansas will be able to score some points. But we're talking about a less than 2 touchdown spread, and Tennessee is at home. I am a believer in the Volunteers. I think they're going to put up some points here. I know they got Alabama next week. This is still a home game. Tennessee will put up enough points to cover the spread. I believe in my projected stat spread here. I know they've got a new defensive coordinator. I know Petrino's the new interim. I understand. I still think Tennessee puts up a ton of points here, and I think they cover. Give me Tennessee minus 12.5. To the Big Ten, and Iowa travels to Camp Randall. They're going to take on the Wisconsin Badgers. This one at 6 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone on FS1. Iowa, a 3.5-point road favorite, total of 35.5 on this. And it came down from 37.5 to 35.5. I've got a projected total of 41.84 here. This Iowa defense is not the vintage Iowa defense that we're used to, but Phil Parker is still a mastermind. And when you're going up against an offense that can't get anything going, I guess I can understand why the total would be dropping here. It makes sense. Wisconsin, number 113 in PPA per drive on offense. They are number 89 in offensive success rate, a little bit better at throwing the football than they are running it. Number 71 in PPA per rush. Number 109 in rushing success rate. They're number 129 in the country in yards per rush. Iowa's defense is number 3. So you're not going to have a lot of success running the football, I don't believe. Throwing the football, maybe. Iowa, number 52 in passing success rate allowed, but Wisconsin's offense is number 92 in that metric. Number 119 in PPA per pass. They cannot get into the end zone. Wisconsin, number 128 in points per scoring opportunity. So every time they get a first down inside the opponent 40-yard line, they're averaging 2.90 points on those drives. Iowa's defense ain't great at stopping teams. They're number 81 in that metric on defense. But my gosh, Wisconsin's bad. On the other side, Iowa still can't throw the ball. Number 121 in yards per pass attempt, number 117 in QBR, number 129 in passing success rate. But Wisconsin, in those metrics, number 124, number 126, number 120, number 110 in passing success allowed. Is Iowa going to be able to run the football on Wisconsin? That's the question. Iowa is number 62 in yards per rush. Wisconsin's defense is number 20. Iowa is number 16 in rushing success rate. Wisconsin's defense is number 79. So where Wisconsin doesn't give up a ton of big plays, they don't give up a ton of yards, they do still allow you to move the football. Now you start looking at standard down success rate. Iowa's number 32. Wisconsin number 90. I still believe in Iowa's ability to win football games. They're number 42 in 5 factors rank. Wisconsin number 97. Yeah, I've got Iowa favored by 5.72. My power rating has Iowa by 4.7. And this line opened at 3.5. It's still sitting at 3.5. I know I'm off a key number. I'll take the Hawkeyes. Give me Iowa minus 3.5 here.
Stop guessing and start winning. Stochastic provides advanced data and strategies for DFS players and bettors, built by pros who know how to find edges. Click the link in the description and sign up today.
4 more games to go. Reminder, buymeacoffee.com/winningcures, $5 a month, $50 for the year. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast as well. I do some audio-only stuff over there that you're not going to get here on the YouTube channel. But subscribe here as well and jump in the comments. I want to know your picks on these games. BYU goes to Arizona Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central on ESPN2. BYU currently a 1.5-point favorite, total of 47.5 on this one. And it opened at BYU minus 2.5 with a total of 49.5. Now, I've got a projected total of 52.5. My power rating has BYU minus 4. My stats projected spread has BYU minus 6.74. There's a lot of stuff pointing towards BYU with this. Current strength of schedule, a lot of people want to say like BYU has beaten nobody. They're number 92 in current strength of schedule. Well, Arizona is number 78 in strength of schedule. Is it that much better? This Arizona offense has not been very good. Number 93 in PPA per drive. They are number 83 in offensive success rate. A little bit better at passing the ball than they are running it. Running the ball, they are number 101 in rushing success, number 85 in yards per rush. That's not going to go well against a BYU defensive line that is pretty good. Arizona, number 92 in stuff rate allowed on offense. BYU's defense is number 46 there. Offensive line yards, Arizona number 35. BYU's defense number 29. So something to pay attention to. Again, Arizona number 85 in yards per rush. BYU's defense is number 14 in that. BYU's offense, this Arizona defense is pretty good. Danny Gonzalez is doing a really good job here. I am curious. I will say that. I am curious about this. They're number 14 in PPA allowed per pass, number 4 in yards allowed per pass attempt. BYU number 91 in passing success rate, but they are number 26 in yards per pass attempt, number 30 in QBR, number 32 in PPA per pass. They are number 16 in PPA per rush, number 14 in yards per rush. Arizona's defense, number 19 and number 23 in those metrics. BYU, number 37 in rushing success. Arizona, number 24. The Arizona defense is pretty good. Overall defensive success rate, Arizona, number 6 in the country. BYU, number 29. Okay, I'm interested. BYU, number 8 in 5 factors rank. Arizona is number 31. Overall, BYU is just a better team, but they are on the road, so I think that's what the spread has to do with. And this Arizona defense is serious. I mean, this is a serious football team. I'm going to stick to my numbers on this. I've got a projected score around 30 to 23, somewhere around there. So that is significantly more than the 1.5. Even if it's less than what mine is, I still think it'll be more than what the line is. I know a lot of people believe in Arizona right now. I understand it. But I don't think this BYU train ends here. I'm gonna roll with the Cougars. Give me BYU minus 1.5. Let's talk Mountain West. New Mexico going up to the blue turf. They're taking on Boise State. 8:45 p.m. Central Time on FS1. And Boise is a 16.5-point home favorite, total of 59.5. Now, that one has not moved at all thus far. My power rating only has Boise favored by 8. My stats projected spread has Boise by 8.65. New Mexico, number 47 in current strength of schedule. Boise, number 110. That's interesting, considering they just played Notre Dame. You know, you would think that that would help. You know, New Mexico has played Michigan and UCLA and et cetera, et cetera. So New Mexico did not get the win against San Jose last week. Now they're on the road this week. This Jason Eck team is fun. Like, I'm a fan of what they're doing here. One thing to pay attention to, they are number 129 in turnover margin, number 129 in giveaways per game. Boise, number 29 in that metric, number 38 in giveaways per game, number 24 in takeaways per game. And that does include the Notre Dame game last week where they had 4 interceptions in the game. Just something to pay attention to on that. I think this is a pretty evenly matched game. Boise, number 66 in PPA margin. New Mexico, number 78. I think New Mexico can do some interesting things here to stay within the game. Their defense is not great, but they're okay. You know, number 110 in rushing success allowed, but Boise is number 49 in that metric. They're number 64 in passing success allowed, but they are number 107 in yards allowed per pass attempt, is New Mexico. Boise's offense is number 47 in yards per pass attempt, number 55 in passing success. They'll be able to move the football some on New Mexico, but this New Mexico offense, I think, is going to be able to move the football some on Boise as well. Number 56 in PPA per pass for New Mexico's offense, number 46 for Boise's defense. New Mexico does not let people get to the quarterback. They're number 25 in havoc rate. And when you look at New Mexico running the football, you know, number 69 rushing success, number 75 in yards per rush. Boise is number 105 in yards allowed per rush, and number 44 in rushing success allowed. You start to look at the offensive and defensive line. Okay, like I'm figuring out what they're doing. You know, number 119 in PPA allowed per rush. Number 75 in offensive line yards allowed is Boise's defense. Number 85 in stuff rate. New Mexico is number 47 in offensive line yards. Number 3 in stuff rate allowed. They confuse you. They get you out of position. And they score points. Like points per scoring opportunity, New Mexico is number 46. Boise's defense is number 126. So anytime New Mexico gets a first down inside the 40, look for points. On the other side, Boise, They get 8.75 drives per game where they get a first down inside the opponent 40, but they're number 118 in points per scoring opportunity. 3.26 points per drive that they get a first down inside the opponent 40. New Mexico's defense is number 27 in points allowed per scoring opportunity. They make you earn it. So that is certainly something to pay attention to. I wonder why this number is so big. I guess people just look at the names and expect it to be this huge. I don't think this is going to be that big of a spread. Give me the Lobos. New Mexico plus 16.5 here. I mean, these numbers are crazy. I will take New Mexico plus 16.5. Staying in the Mountain West, and the last game of the evening, Utah State goes to Hawaiʻi. Utah State currently a 1.5-point road favorite, total of 57.5, and Hawaiʻi opened as a 2.5-point favorite. So this thing has moved drastically in the opposite direction. Tried to look up some injury news earlier, couldn't find anything. Still relatively early in the week. I haven't seen much, but apparently somebody knows something. Total was 60.5. It is down to 57.5. Well, I've got a projected total of 50.86 here. This Hawaiʻi offense has not been great. Number 103 in PPA per drive. The Utah State defense is number 108 in PPA allowed per drive. The Utah State offense, number 57 in PPA per drive. And the Hawaiʻi defense, number 47. So Hawaii's defense has actually been pretty good thus far on the year. Utah State, number 17 in current strength of schedule. Hawaiʻi, number 111. So that'll give you an idea of what Utah State has been able to do against, pretty good competition. Hawaiʻi, however, on the other hand, not great competition, but they are at home. So maybe that plays into this a little bit. Neither team very talented. Hawaiʻi is outside the top 125 as far as talent, but Utah State is outside the top 110. This Utah State offense is going to be able to throw the football on Hawaiʻi. Number 29 in yards per attempt, or yards per pass attempt, is Utah State. Hawaii's defense is number 72. Number 14 in QBR is Utah State, and Hawaii's defense is number 72 in that metric. So Utah State's going to be able to put up points. Utah State's biggest weakness is against the run. They're number 121 in rushing success allowed. Hawaiʻi is number 122 in rushing success. I don't know how Hawaiʻi is going to be able to put up numbers. They'll have to throw the football, but they're not exactly super successful doing it. Number 116 in yards per pass attempt. Well, Utah State's defense is number 77. Number 71 in passing success rate. Utah State's defense is number 102. So you got a bad offense against a bad defense and a pretty good offense against a pretty good defense. Something's weird here. The line's moving one certain direction. I feel better about Utah State and the competition that they've played as opposed to Hawaiʻi. I'll take Utah State. My power rating has Utah State by 2.5. My stats projected spread has Utah State by 1.35. Yeah, I'll take Utah State. Minus 1.5 on the road late Saturday night. I had trouble coming up with the 20th game, and I thought Cincinnati might be ranked after an Iowa State win. It appears they are not. Alas, this is a former AAC game that is now masquerading as a Big 12 game. Since he opened as an 11.5-point favorite, they are now currently an 11-point favorite at home. Cincinnati hosting UCF, in case I did not say that. Total of 54.5 on this. This was 11 a.m. on FS1. UCF, the current strength of schedule for UCF is number 106. Cincinnati, number 39. They've played Iowa State. Granted, it was without their two starting cornerbacks. They also probably should have won the Nebraska game, and they kind of gave it away at the end there. Turnover margin, Cincy is number 87. UCF number 29. Penalties per game, UCF outside the top 90 in that. Cincinnati is number 60 in that. This Cincinnati offense is legit. They are really, really good. They throw the ball well, number 11 in QBR. I mean, Brendan Sorsby is just putting on a clinic every single week. They're number 9 in offensive success rate. UCF number 59 in defensive success rate. And yet, Cincinnati continues to find ways to let teams stay in ball games that they really have no business being in. My power rating has Cincy by 7. My stats projected spread has Cincy by 8.11. I'm going to trust those numbers. I'm going to roll with that. I think that Cincinnati lets UCF kind of hang around here. Scott Frost has done a pretty good job thus far. He's 3-2 straight up. Yeah, I know we were looking at, a quarterback injury maybe for UCF. I think they'll still be able to put up some points. And the passing defense for UCF has been pretty good. The question is whether or not they can stop the run. They have not been very good at it. Number 89 in rushing success allowed. Cincy is number 5 in that. But on the other side of the ball, I think UCF's going to be able to throw it around a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see. I think this number is a little bit too big. I'll take UCF plus 11. All right, again, like the video, subscribe, and, of course, jump in the comments. Let's recap them. Middle Tennessee plus 2.5, Tulane minus 6.5, Southern Miss minus 3, Rutgers plus 10.5, Florida State minus 10.5, Washington State plus 33.5, Oregon State plus 3, Maryland plus 7, Northwestern plus 22.5, Old Dominion minus 14.5, Virginia Tech plus 14.5, A&M minus 7.5, NC State plus 22.5, Iowa State minus 3, Tennessee minus 12.5, Iowa minus 3.5, BYU minus 1.5, New Mexico plus 16.5, Utah State minus 1.5, UCF plus 11. That is going to do it for today. Hopefully, you guys all are making more money than I have been as of late. Last week was a complete freaking disaster. But we're going to get better this week. I feel it. Feel it in my plums. All right. You guys know what to do. Go check out buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. You can get these stat sheets over there, etc. Yeah, it's going to be a good week, guys. It's going to be a good week. With that said, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. God bless college football. And hopefully, all of your tickets cash this week. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Subscribe, leave a review or comment. Follow @GaryWCE on X. And check out the web store,